So, I'm here to announce when the National Invitational Volleyball Championship is being held. It was called the National Volleyball Invitational Tournament. National Invitational Volleyball Championship. It has been announced for 2024 in its single elimination, and it's hosted it's like the WNIT, where it is, and like basketball, the WNIT. Most of the NCAA championships are held at schools, campus sites, except when it goes to like the championship game, or maybe like they make one host site for like a few games, maybe like semifinals and finals, maybe like a neutral site. Other than that, most of the games are held at campus sites. So a lot of these games are going to be probably, not all of them, but some of these games are going to be like no attendance, probably because you might have like the fans and the teams go, but a lot of them, probably just, it's like neutral site and it might be really far away for people to attend the games, so they don't necessarily well attend as many. But we have 16 first games, potential playing games, each quad based on overall team numbers. And there's 5-8 for second games, 4 third games, 2 semi games, and championship. And it's 32 bids, one each conference, and 16 large conferences. Now conferences will have an EQ. Therefore, we'll offer additional at-large versus teams that meet the criteria. So, and it's basically for teams that don't. It's basically for teams to be able to practice more, coaches and teams to be able to play more games, regardless of like what term it is, and you, especially for people, especially if you're like a senior on the team, or if you're a person that's going back next season, you look forward to build momentum. If you're like a senior on the team, it's not your last game ever. You at least can play for a championship of some sort. I know it's probably not the championship everyone wants. Everybody wants the NCAA championships and the conference championships, especially if you're in the one bid leagues. You really absolutely want that. But there's going to be announced after the NCAA selection show, which is on Sunday. It's the 32 teams that don't make it the NCAA tournament. And then we have round 1 and Super 16, December 4th through 8th. So we have 14 quads and 8 host states. So there's going to be, it's going to be Thursday through, or Wednesday through Saturday. There's going to be the dates for the round 1 Super 16, which is around the 32, and the Super 16, which is around 16. And you're going to have one game being played. Probably what it'll be is most likely is the neutral site game will be first. It's the pure neutral site game. And then you'll have the host school playing in that game on next up afterwards. They'll probably have like a 30-minute break like they normally do. It'll be that, so both teams can get a practice warm up in, and that's it. And then you'll have the round of 16 game, which is Super 16, which will be probably a couple days afterwards. If you play on like the 4th, it'll probably be in like the 6th. And if it's the 5th, it'll be the 7th. And if it's the 6th, it'll be the 8th. And it'll be like that. And then the grade 8. And then, but you have the quads. So top 8 seed the host the round, the first 2 rounds. However, if your team, if the host does get eliminated, the second round game in the first round, the second round game will be a neutral site game. So, and then you'll have the grade 8 on December 9th through December 12th. The top 4 teams will host, not top 4 overall teams, but not top 4 will be reseeded, like the tournament will be reseeded. It'll just be where the the higher seed hosts the higher seed in the NIVC, the National Invitational Volleyball Championship. The host, the grade 8, which is the final 8, the host, and then the Fab 4, the higher overall seed between the two teams will host, and then the championship game will be hosted by the higher seed. So it is based off, so the hosts, I would think they'd be up top, but it's also, host site is determined by like fan base, host bids, facility availability, tournament seed, travel constraints. So it's basically going to be like they want to make it, they want, you want to have like the games for all, especially for like the first round, make it as easy as you can, as possible, for all 4 teams to travel to. Like the one host and the other 3 teams, make it easy as possible to travel to. Based on like the weather conditions, and is it going to be safe to travel? Like they don't want it like where it's going to be like empty arena. Sometimes you have empty arenas. Sometimes, especially at the smaller schools, you might have like, not the biggest fan base, especially these really small Division 1 schools, and they don't want that. Regardless, even if the gym is say like, even if it's like a couple thousand seats, they want to be able to have like, even if it's a small capacity, they want it to be filled up, and have a good opportunity for it to be filled up, especially for the host site games. The neutral site games may not, but they want it like good travel, good like in the middle, so that people can travel, easy, like fans can, and like other stuff. And they try to limit teams' travel, so like they want to have it as close to the school as possible. And it's also based off like the facility availability. So like, if like, for example, like sometimes, like the facility availability, like, is there something going on at the school, that day? Like for example, if the volleyball court is being used, some of the schools, like they have like the volleyball court and the basketball court, like high schools, and a lot of high schools, or majority of high schools in like Division 2, Division 3, and even Division 1s, they use like, most of them, they use like the volleyball and the basketball court as the same court. So they want to be able to, say like, oh, that team has like a scheduled basketball game, or oh, that team has a scheduled men's basketball game or women's basketball game, or a tournament for men's or women's basketball one at the school. They don't want like, oh, they're not, during those days, because the postseason, the the regular season is scheduled before the postseason starts for basketball. So they don't want to be like, oh, you're scheduled, you know. You know what I mean? So maybe you can still host, but just like it just depends on like what's going on, you know. For that day. So that's what's going to happen. So and then it'll be like, yep. So they don't want to like let it to be like bad weather, like like the other 3 schools have to travel to like a school, you know, it's gonna be bad weather. Bad school, like no, like hard to get in and out of. They don't want to do that for all the teams, you know, like bad weather situation, like you're just gonna be, you know, and then like and then you typically it's like best, and then like seed, like the facility availability, like it probably depends on when like the game is played, like the men, especially right now with men's and women's basketball, and then they play in the same court as the volleyball court. Like, are you going to, like a lot of them might, some of them have their own, a lot of schools have their own volleyball courts, but not all of them. So a lot of them do also play on the basketball courts, even Division One. So like I said before, so that is the case. So I'm going to be doing so, but I'm going to mention the NIVC tournament. I will be doing whip around of NIVC tournament volleyball. National Invitational Volleyball Championship. Just played on, like I said, which is going to be playing, like I said, the 4th through the 8th for the first 2 rounds, which is Wednesday through Sunday, and then grade 8 will be played Monday through Thursday, and then the Fab 4 will be, and then the championship. Now, once I will do some whip around probably at the NCAA tournament and the NIVC. However, I will not be able to do probably, and maybe the grade 8. It depends. The grade 8. There's only 8 teams, so I don't know how much whip around I can do, but I will try to do some whip around of the round 1-8, the round of 32 and the Super 16. I will try to do that at least, some whip around of that at least. You know, but it's going to be hard to do whip around after that because there's just lack of games, and I don't know what to do, like win 2 games back to back. Like you can have like this game, both games open on each side of your screen or your computer, one on like a smart TV or one on a phone, or one on phone and tablet, you know, like 2 different devices open as well. Like if you're having the apps on the phone, right, one app on tablet, one app on phone, or smart TV. That's like Amazon Fire TV or Apple TV device stick, or like Chromecast or Fire TV or Roku or whatever the case is, you know. So, and that's kind of a good thing for these schools, you know, to get some more playing time, to be able to say, hey, we can at least get a few more practices in and be able to play at least be able to play at least a couple more games. At least one more game, and maybe get another day of practice, say, you know, before, or another day or 2 practice, say, before we travel out, you know, for the games. So that's always nice, you know, and it's especially for like the smaller schools, you know, like they like to build on it for next year. Like maybe they win an NIVC championship, maybe, you know, it can help them string into maybe NCAA tournament success, you know. NCAA tournament, like you see that like the WNIT before the WBIT started, you see that like teams who were in the WNIT actually had success making it to the NCAA tournament. There has been cases of that, like you win the tournament or go pretty deep in it, and it does help you, or maybe you're consistently in that tournament, like you were like, okay, maybe make consistent deep runs, Like, so this, can be a building block, especially for a lot of these schools, that don't make the NCAA tournament. You can make it here and try to win a postseason tournament, win some sort of crown.